Today I'm going to focus on a lesson called Building Immunity. You can find it in the Old Terms folder. Just click on that. And in Unit 2, you'll find the lesson, right? Building Immunity. This is about health and food. When you click on that, you will see some files. As you see, some Word documents, and here some lecture notes. These are PDF. And audios, two audios here. And there's a test actually. At the beginning of this, you need to just look at the test, right? You need to finish the test. This test is very important to learn related vocabulary about, building immunity. So let's preview that. Yes. Now, as you see, there is an audio here. Yeah, you will just start that, and while doing that, maybe just a kind of introduction to the lesson, right, to the topic. You will listen to this and you will just learn some vocabulary related to that. And as you see, there are some questions, vocabulary questions. When you finish this test, you will learn many vocabulary, right, a lot of vocabulary about this topic. So when you listen to the audio, let's look at the question 1. Here we have a matching activity, right? So match definition below to the bold-faced word. As you see, there are bold words here: adapting, contagious, and resist. And there are definitions of them, like some of them are synonyms, some of them are definitions. So if you are not sure about the definitions, their meanings, just look up the dictionary to learn them, because they are very important to understand the lecture you're going to listen to. And when you finish this, let's start the other one. Again, we have another matching definition activity. This is the part, yeah. Exposed to, incidents, transmitted, so match them. And the other one, again, matching activity, crucial, recover, and stress. Match these with their meanings. And the next one is this again. And we have think about these questions before our next lesson. They will help you to understand the lecture better. What do you do to stay healthy? How many hours do you usually sleep at night? Do you travel? What special things do you do to stay healthy when you are visiting somewhere new? So if you answer these questions yourself, it's very good. But if you don't have any answers in your mind, please just search from the internet. So you can find a lot of websites, of articles, any tags about these, and you can learn some words related to this as well. Yeah. And when you review the answers, you will see the answers actually of these, and you will finish this, right? So this is the quiz. Get back to the folder. Yes, when you finish the test, if you want, you can do it after the test or before that, doesn't matter, but download this handout. If you like, TypeScript it and TypeScript with answers here, right? So we have these important Word documents. You need to download this, especially this handout, because we have the questions and the important information about the skill. And also you need to download the audios. Well, there are two audios here. The first one is skill focus audio and the other one is dictation one, but the most important one is missing here, so you need to get back to the main page. And here you're listening 3 media album, so building immunity, right? Here you go. Click on that and just save it to your computer. Yeah, this is 6 minutes 49 seconds, so this is a lecture. Okay, you're downloading this. While doing that, I want to go to the handout. Here is the handout, right? Okay, so the name of the skill focus is connected ideas, right? And it says sometimes it's hard to connect ideas when a lecturer briefly talks about something else. So when the lecturer talks about the topics, he or she sometimes just wants to talk about something else. But at the same time, he or she wants to signal a return to the topic. So you need to be careful with the phrases he or she uses, right? And they also want you to understand how their ideas are connected, right? And to do that, they just point out a cause and effect relationship, right? They try to help you make a connection to an idea mentioned earlier. So to do that, of course, the language is very important. You need to focus on the language because they use some phrases related to this. So look at this exercise. It's a very important exercise actually. So here we have types of language, right? Types of language, and we have the examples of them here. So the first one is language signaling the start of a digression. Digression is like another topic, start of another topic, yeah? And another one is language signaling a return to the main topic. Language signaling a return to the main topic. And language to show cause and effect, language showing an idea mentioned earlier. So we have the examples of this language actually here. So you need to match them, right? You need to match them. If you want to see the answers, you need to see the video about the answers. Okay, it will be in the next video. So let's look at them. We have if, then, because of, and results in some phrases like that. And it's a sample actually. We have this answer. Language signal the start of another topic like digression. I have to add a quick comment before I forget. I want to mention. So these are like the start of a digression. And do you recall? Think back to as mentioned earlier. So which one is it? And the other one anyway. Moving on back to our focus today. Back to blah blah. So which one is it? You need to match them, right? It's important to do that before listening to the lecture because if you want to understand the lecture better, you need to know the phrases. And the first one is skill focus one. Listen to the excerpt from a public health presentation. Take the phrases in the table above that you hear. Listen again and note down what information is introduced by these phrases you take. So you're going to listen to the audio, skill focus audio twice. First for taking the phrases in the table above that you hear. So while listening to this audio, which phrases have you heard, right? And the second listening is for noting down what information is introduced by these phrases you take. So you need to write the details, right? What information given after these phrases. Yeah. When you have finished this, it means that you are ready to take notes about building immunity, right? Watch the lecture and take notes. You will need your notes after the lecture to answer some questions. So please stop this video, stop the video I'm recording now, and start this audio, right? You need to start this audio. It takes 6 minutes something, right? And watch and listen to this one and take notes. Okay? You shouldn't look at the questions before, of course. Yes. After you listen and watch and listen to the video, you need to look at the questions, right? You shouldn't see the questions before watching the video. Okay, just stop it here. Now I think you have watched the video, you have listened to the lecturer, and you have taken notes, right? I think you are ready now to look at the questions. Let's look at the questions together. So as you see here, you need to use your notes to answer the questions below. Provide as much relevant information as possible. So you need to write as much as possible should be to the top, of course, about the topic. You shouldn't write things off the topic. Unnecessary. You shouldn't write the unnecessary details. Okay, let's look at the questions together. The first one is 2 points. It's worth 2 points. So what is the lecture mainly about? So what is the topic of the lecture, right? You need to write the main topic here. So it is 2 points, right? And the second one is, what is adaptive immunity? So it's in quotation marks. It means that you need to write the definition of this. Actually, in the lecturer gives the definition, right? So you need to write its definition. It's 2 points. And another question related to this is, what are the 2 ways we develop it? What are the 2 ways we develop it? Is 4 points, so 2 each, right? How we develop it. This is the one way, and the other way is here. And the third one is, why do people often get sick when they travel abroad, right? So you need to write the reason why people get sick when they travel abroad. And after that, you need to give some examples. You need to give as many examples as possible. So this is 4 points in total. So if you write more detail, well, you can get 4, but if you don't give enough information, you will get 3 to 1. It depends on how much you write. And question 4. Now we have a table here, as you see. This is the task. Give details of the 2 people. So they are sisters, right? At 8 points. It's an important one. And you need to write the name of the people here. This is the name of one of the sisters, the other one here. And then you need to write their illnesses, and you need to write these details about them, their illnesses, right? So you need to write as much as possible again. And 5, what is the key idea behind the development of vaccines? What's the key idea behind the development of vaccines? So what's the reason of development of vaccines, right? Key idea, 2 points. And other one, what is the speaker's attitude towards vaccines? So it means that what does the speaker think about them? Does he or she think positively or negatively about it? And you need to give some details about to support his or her idea. And now, what are 3 precautions we can take to stay healthy? So you need to write 3 precautions. If you don't know the meaning of precaution, you need to look up the dictionary, of course. And as you see, it's worth 6 points, so 2 each, right? So these are the questions. I hope you will answer all of them. Yes. And the next video will be about the answers, how to answer the questions and what the answers are. Let's find out the answers of the tasks of building immunity. Let's start with the skills focus one. Yeah. As you see, there are the types of language here and examples of language here. The first one is given to you, language signaling the start of a digression. Yeah, I have to add a quick comment before I forget, I want to mention, right? So these are the start of a digression, right? And look at this one, language signaling a return to the main topic, a return to the main topic. So look at these. Anyway, moving on back to our focus today, back to the topic. So these are the examples of language giving this, right? Signaling a return to the main topic. And the next one is language to show cause and effect. So look at these phrases. We have if, blah, blah, then, because of, results in, right? When you see these, you can understand that there is a cause and effect here. And the last one is language showing an idea mentioned earlier, given earlier, right? So do you recall? Recall means remember here. Do you recall? Think back to, as I mentioned earlier. So when you hear these phrases, you can understand that the lecturer focuses on an idea mentioned earlier, right? Okay. So this is the another activity, like listen to the excerpt from a public health presentation. Take the phrases in the table above that you hear, right? So look at the transcript. So the first one is think back to. Think back to. This is one of the topic, right? think back to. So showing an idea mentioned earlier. And of course, the second listening, you needed to write what information is introduced by these phrases you think. So the first one is think back to and what information is given here. This one, if people don't have clean air to breathe, then this can cause many health problems, right? So it says, when you were asked to consider the importance of clean air. So you can write this and this as well. And also this one is showing the relationship of this, right? Cause and effect, if close. Yeah. And the other one is, again, we have if close here, like cause and effect. If children in particular don't have clean water, it can cause serious health problems. So this is the another one showing cause and effect. And the last one is before I forget, and it belongs to here, right? Signaling the start of a digression. And what information is given here? The lecturer mentions there is a good article about children and water in the recent issue of the Journal of Global Public Health, right? Here we have this information is introduced by the lecturer, and this is the language, this is the phrase he used before giving this information. Okay, let's look at the answers of the lecture questions. Yeah. So what is the lecture mainly about, right? Mainly about. So what is the main topic in the lecture? It means when you look at the tape script, you can see this language, right? Today I'm going to focus on adaptive immunity. So I'm going to focus on, this is the language, right? Today I'm going to, so the main focus of the lecture today is adaptive immunity. So this is the answer, right? And the second one is about the definition of adaptive immunity, the first part. What is adaptive immunity? So you need to find the definition, you need to write the definition you heard, right? And the other one is what are the two ways we develop it? So look at this adaptive immunity. So there are two ways we develop it, right? The definition comes after the ways actually. So the definition is here. Basically, adaptive immunity means, so this is the keyword, right? We are going to write it because the task wants this from you. You need to write a definition, and this is our keyword. That our bodies learn to fight things that we are exposed to. So this is the definition, right? Adaptive immunity means that our bodies learn to fight things that we are exposed to. And what are the two ways? So how we develop it? So the first one is we develop it naturally. And the second one is we can also develop it artificially through vaccines. So if you give these answers, you got 4 points from this, 2 points from this. And next question, why do people often get sick when they travel abroad? So any other? So you need to give examples, of course. As the important, the information about traveling starts here. Then when you hear travel or journey, occasion, these words, you can understand that the answer is coming actually. Okay, the germs and diseases are different there, right? The germs and diseases are different there. The adaptive immunity these two individuals have developed back home won't protect them abroad. Then that's it, okay? And the result is they get sick. They are more likely to get sick. So as you see, you need to give examples. Actually, like we have an example about a Chinese business traveler here, and the example continues here, some more information, and if you write more, you will get higher score from here, right? You need to write details from here. I hope you did it. And give details of the two people. So you need to write the name of them and their illness and details. So the name of the first person is Kimi. Yeah, Kimi. And the second one is Meg. Meg here. And what's the illness of Kimmy? Cold. You can say cold here. And Meg's illness is, here, common childhood disease caused by a virus, the VZV virus, right? So you can say common childhood disease. Now you can say she got the virus VZV, okay? And you need to write the details here, right? So the details are here, as you see. Can write any detail you heard actually. So she catches that. In a week, she feels much better. The adaptive immunity made her body strong enough to resist the cold virus that made her sick this time. Of course, you can't write everything because this is so long and it's not possible to take all the notes, but you can write just the summary of that. Write some short sentences about this, but giving the main idea of this, right? And the other one, details about Meg's illness here, right? Actually, oh yeah, you can write this as illness as well. Chickenpox virus, right? And after 10 days, she recalls she shouldn't get chickenpox ever again, not for the rest of her life. We call this lifelong protective immunity. So there are some details here. You need to write as much as possible, as I said before. Now, what's the key idea behind the development of vaccines? So what is the key idea? What's the reason, right? Okay. The idea behind vaccines is simple. Yeah, so what is it? What's the answer? It's better to keep people from getting sick than to try to treat them after they've already become sick, or something. You can write something giving the same meaning as this, okay? And what is the speaker's attitude toward vaccines? So it means that what does the speaker think about vaccines? Positive things, negative things, what? And so look at the sentence. Vaccines are a very convenient, quick way to boost our immunity. So she supports, right? And the lecturer supports it actually. And the other one is personal. I think that's irresponsible. I know from my own research in Africa that vaccines for young children can make a huge positive difference in a community's health. So you can write that the speaker supports vaccines, right? Because it is very useful for this. You can write some details from here, like this detail, this example. Yeah. The speaker says that he or she learned in Africa that vaccines for young children can make a positive effect. And the last question is, what are 3 precautions we can take to stay healthy? So 3 precautions. What can be the key word of words, right? You can hear some numbers, the first, second, third, because there are 3 precautions. As you see, yes, I'm right actually. We have first, we have second, and we have third. So these keywords will help you to write the precautions. Yeah. And the first one is good nutrition. The second one is keep things clean. And the last one is reduce stress. Okay, that's the end of the video actually. I hope you got a good score from this. See you next time.